Are you looking for true personal freedom? The freedom to design a life you truly desire? Then you're absolutely in the right place. True personal freedom comes from when you take 100% responsibility and control of your money and your mind. Here you're going to learn ideas, tips, and wisdom that's going to help you bridge the gap from where you are now to your dream life in the future. My name is Randy Wilson, and welcome to the Rich Mind Podcast.
Hello, and welcome back to the Rich Mind Podcast. In today's episode, I want to share a little bit of a story, something that actually just happened recently within my own family. It was something I shared with my daughter. We just had a conversation that is something that I've had to wrestle with my life as well. And so I kind of wanted to share the story, share a little bit of background, even some things that have happened for myself. With the hopes that it would be valuable for you today. So hopefully that is. And so let's jump into it. So the concept or the idea that I want to share is that you've got to be able and willing to let go of something good in order to receive something that's great. And what do I mean by that? So as I mentioned, I just got done having a conversation with my daughter, and she is struggling with a decision that she has to make with a particular friend, whether or not to continue in with the relationship or not. And without going into any details, at this point, as you can imagine, that decision is a very tough one because friendships are involved, spending time with individuals are involved. There's just a lot of things going on emotionally when it comes to making a decision like that. So what I have learned in my dealings throughout my journey of life, and something I shared with her, is that exact concept, is that sometimes you have to let go of something that's good in order to receive and get something that's actually going to be great in the future, which is what I expressed to her. Now, I understand that might not make her feel better in the moment, but in my experience, the ability to do that has and will allow you to then step into something greater, even an opportunity or a relationship or something that you might not even realize is even possible. So the idea comes from that life is full of, the word that I like to use is pivots. We're always going to be pivoting as we continue on this journey that we call life. And your ability to pivot quicker with better understanding of potential outcomes, with your ability to forecast the future of where you intend to go, is going to be crucial for you to get to this dream life that you think that you desire and that you want for yourself. So a lot of times I see this come up with the ideas of even work, or if you have a job, or definitely with the relationships. The example I used with my daughter was about relationships, but it can definitely be in terms of a job, a current position. It can be anything in your physical existence. So it can be even you're tolerating some things that you don't necessarily want to let go of. But the idea is that you cannot replace those things with something that's going to be even better if you're just holding on to them for security, for a perceived safety, really things that are really holding you back inside of a lack mindset. Now, I can say that I used to have that mindset a lot, and I'm not saying that I've overcome it 100%, but I will tell you that I'm working on it every single day. And the idea and the concepts of letting go of something good to get something great just takes practice. So let's use a job. Maybe you're in a job right now that you don't necessarily care for, and you're looking and trying to figure out ways to get out of it, but you keep running those limiting thoughts and beliefs in your mind that you can't find something else. Your insurance, you can't afford to let go of your insurance. Your vacation time, you can't necessarily let go of what vacation time you've accrued. Basic thoughts. I used to have those same thoughts. So basic thoughts and beliefs that I hear on a continuous basis from folks, that if you just shift that idea and start thinking about things about a better future. What if you chose to pivot and stepped into something new, stepped into a different opportunity, and it turned out to be better than the one that you had or even have? What if that relationship that you might be hanging on to because you think that you're never going to find somebody else, once you do let go of that person, turns out to be the first step into you finding the exact person that you've been meaning to find? That's been my experience. And I can say that with certainty in terms of, especially with the job. When I was in my W 2 world, I was brought up to believe and taught that you basically go to work for the same company for years and years and years. You basically dedicate your life to a particular company for 20, 30, 40 years. And at the end of that time, you were going to be able to walk away with a wristwatch or a button or something. That was one thing that the company I worked for, the people that made it 30, 40 years, they would get awards for lasting that long. A lot of times I saw it was like watches and it just interesting things. But when you realize that that might not necessarily be the best way, especially not in today's world, there are so many different ways to generate income. You might not be aware of those ways today. Some of those things that we will discuss here on the podcast, or you can also find out information about different ways all over the internet. But the point that I'm trying to make today is that having that idea and that thought that you need to work for the same company for X amount of years until full retirement, that you actually even need a retirement, that you need your insurance, all of those thoughts and all of those beliefs, whether they're yours or whether they were fed to you by somebody else, are keeping you from potentially receiving and getting to a better, greater life than you can ever imagine possible. And I know that to be true for myself. When I stepped back I was a retail store manager. When I stepped back, I actually took a sales position that I had a huge reduction in my salary. But what I got back from that was my time. I was working a lot of hours in retail. Anybody that's worked retail understands what the demands are working retail, especially management, salaried management. And I stepped back into a sales position that was more Monday through Friday, more what I would consider normal hours. And it gave me back my time to investigate and continue to learn how to grow and become more in the terms of generating income in my life. And with that knowledge and with that pivot, I kept continuing to learn. So that little setback of the salary, I was able to offset with some different things of side hustle for myself and for my family. And not to mention the amount of time that I received back to be able to do the things that I wanted to do with friends, with family, with different hobbies, things of that sort. So I had to let go of something that was good. My job was good, meaning it was secure. They paid me relatively well. I wouldn't say relative in terms of by the hourly rate. It was definitely down there, but at the same time, it was enough to raise my family on. But I had to let go of that good, and it was a step, in a perceived backward movement. But I received much more than that because I was able to get my time back. And with that time, I educated myself on building businesses, on my financial education, on my personal development. And as I continued to grow in those areas, I was able to add and stack on new ways of generating income, which has hence led me to speaking to you here today. So what I want to do today is just encourage you to think about the areas of your life that you may not be happy about. What things, whether it be a job, whether it be a relationship, whether it be even physical things in your current environment, what do you need to let go of that are good? They're perceived good, they're fine, but they're not really allowing you to become great. What are some of those things? Make a list of those things, whether it's a mental list, write them down. I journal every day. So grab a journal, grab a notepad, grab your phone, pull up a note, inside your phone. You can jot down notes in your phone. Make a list of the things that you're tolerating in your life today because they're fine, because they're good. And then think of ways to try to either eliminate those things or at least pivot from them. As I mentioned, I like the word pivot. You're just going to change. You're just going to try to shift in practice. It's not going to be easy at first, but you can get there. And I've done it. And that's how I know that you can too. So hopefully that today, that message serves you. Go out there, make a list of the things that you're tolerating in your life, the things that are good, and make the decision to start pivoting in your life in areas that you're not happy. Make a decision. It's just a decision. Either way, everything is going to be fine. You can always figure out how to do more things, how to generate more income, how to find more people in your life. It's all possible, and you can do it, and I encourage you to do so. So have a fantastic day. I look forward to connecting with you very soon. And until next time, we'll see you then. Thank you now. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining me on the Rich Mind Podcast. I hope you found a ton of value in this episode. If so, I'd really appreciate a 5-star review, and you can also share it with your family and friends. And as my mentor Jim Rohn shared with me, in order to have more, you must first become more. And in order to become more, you must work harder on yourself than you do on your job. So go out there today and work harder on yourself to become more and build the life of your dreams. Until next time, my friends.